This week, we are going to continue talking about system decomposition. Particularly, we're going to start talking about the architectural styles or the architectural design patterns. Last week, we started talking about the system design stage. Now, we have spent the first half of the course talking about requirements engineering with its two stages or two activities, elicitation and the analysis. And you learned about the low-level design in previous courses. Now we are talking about the stage in between, which is the subsystem or the system design, which involves the creation and organization of the subsystem. Now, a reminder of the concept of the subsystem. It's a replaceable part of the system with well-defined interfaces. So pretty much, it's like a subsystem is an organizational unit that collects related or relevant classes. And we can use the UML notation to represent a subsystem, which is using the component diagram. So in the component diagram, we have the component that represents the subsystem. Okay, also talked about the two driving factors of any good design, which are the cohesion and the coupling. And a good design would aim at maximizing the cohesion and minimizing the coupling. And sometimes these two objectives may conflict, and we're gonna have to make a trade-off, and we have to decide which one we would want to prioritize. And we've seen examples of that, different ways that we can organize the systems motivated by these two factors. And we've seen how we create subsystems either based on the logical representation, so they are logically, this planning subsystem just logically relevant because all the classes inside of it are related to planning, and rational subsystem exists because there's a logical relatedness between the classes in between. Okay, so there's type of this subsystems that we create because it has a logical meaning to the classes or to the classes within it or to the system in general. Now, if you look here, for example, there are some subsystem existed for the logical reason. Now, if you zoom in, if you have the textbook from 2203, you will see this example there. Let's say the map management system, subsystem. If you zoom in inside, you will see classes related to the map. And here you will see classes related to the resource. Okay. Now, sometimes we would have a subsystem for, not for a logical reason, not for the business logic reason, but just for the sake of enhancing the design. So here, for example, the storage subsystem was only introduced in order to enhance the design and reduce the dependency over the database. Okay. Now, all designs aim at minimizing the coupling and maximizing the cohesion, and that's what we aim at when we choose the subsystems and the dependencies between them, the way they are organized. Now, luckily, we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time because there are design patterns or there are architectural styles that are organizations of the subsystems that were already found to be useful. Just like when you learned about the design patterns at a class level in last year, there are design patterns on a high level that are the subsystems level. So the low-level design patterns describe how different classes can be organized and get related to each other. Now, the architectural design patterns describe how subsystems can be organized and be related to each other. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about next.